what's up YouTube, it's Patrick, and I am so mad. Well, first off, welcome to episode 2 of my Road to Questcape series, Old School RuneScape Hardcore Iron Man Edition. So the reason why I am mad is because I lost about an hour's worth of recording. I was doing it on stream, but the recording program that I used kind of malfunctioned and it just didn't happen. So we're going to watch this unrelated footage while I quickly explain what I did in that hour that I lost. Because there actually wasn't that much going on, and you'll see why in a second. So where I left off last episode, I was in the middle of doing the Abyss mini quest, and I went to Varrock for that. In the process, I also bought an air staff and about 500 mind runes. I bought all that because I planned on killing a bunch of things and decided magic was probably the best thing to level up for combat. Level up first for combat skills. I think melee is important too, but I wasn't too concerned about that because looking at my main account on Old School RuneScape, keep in mind at the moment I only use that account to make quest guides, so stats aren't great, but it has roughly 45 attack, 45 strength, and 45 defense, and I never directly trained any of those stats. All that XP came from quest. A large part of being able to complete those quests is attributed to being able to safe spot with magic, so this will benefit that as well. And I don't ever plan on training magic by splashing or anything like that because I want to maximize the XP I get as my resources are limited. I'm also doing it to level up my HP a bit because despite a quest like Waterfall quest having no requirements and the rewards in easy like 29 attack and strength levels, those most giants you encounter during that quest can hit 10s, so yeah, I'm not trying to die from that. But anyways, after I got the runes and did what I needed to do for the Abyss in Varrock, I headed south of the city where I killed a bear and a giant rat. I needed their meat for a druidic ritual. I then went further south to Lumbridge, killed a chicken and 2 cows once again for the meat. I headed over to the Lumbridge range to cook one of the raw beef that I got, which actually cooked successfully. But if you don't know you could do this, you could actually cook a piece of cooked beef again to burn it. And I also picked an onion from the nearby onion patch. I need those items for Witch's Potion. Then I went to the Wizard's Tower to start ImCatcher and also do that part of the Abyss mini quest. Bought an Iron Newt from Port Sarum, then actually did Witch's Potion, and I spent the majority of that hour that I lost killing imps for ImCatcher, which surprisingly didn't take that long. I thought it was going to take me like 2 to 3 hours just to find all the beads. Now, I don't know how long it took me exactly, but the timer on the recording only said about like 54 minutes or something like that by the time I was done, and it was recording everything I did from killing the bear and the giant rat in Varrock, so it was actually much less than 54 minutes. But anyways, I went back to the Wizard's Tower to finish ImCatcher to get some magic XP. I believe I ended up with about 20 magic, 12 HP, and about 25 mind runes to spare. After completing ImCatcher, I then went to do Goblin Diplomacy, which I already got all the dyes for it in the last episode. I just need 3 Goblin Mails, which if you don't know, there are 3 crates around Goblin Village that you can search that will actually give you the Goblin Mails, so you don't have to waste your time killing goblins for it. I'll show you where the crates are when I get around to making a guide for that. I went to Taverley right after to do Druidic's Ritual. Then I made my way around the White Wolf Mountain, literally around it. I never knew about this until I looked into it for the sake of, this account survival. But I was trying to see if there was a way to get through this mountain while avoiding the wolves. Turns out there is a path that borders the mountain that you can take to accomplish this. Obviously, it's the longest possible path you can take, but at these levels is worth it, and this is actually the only time I need to do this because the next quest I went to do is Fishing Contest, which I'm doing for fishing XP, and it also unlocks a tunnel that allows you to travel from underneath the mountain. Now, the interesting thing about Fishing Contest is that you actually need a bunch of items to complete it, but most of it is obtainable during the quest, which I do show in my guide. Only thing you need to bring is 10 coins and a spade, which, by the way, I somehow failed at doing. I actually forgot the spade, and I didn't find out until I actually needed it. Isn't that nice? But anyways, Fishing Contest got me to 18 fishing. I then went to go to Murder Mystery, easy quest that has no requirements. Doesn't require any items either, really. Just a pot, and I got a bunch of craft XP from that, plus 2k coins, I believe. From there, I finally made my way to Artie. I went to the wizard there to do my last location for the Abyss mini quest. Just need to make my way back to Varrock to actually complete it, but I'll do that later. I also did Plague City while I was here. Now, during the last episode, I was actually very slowly collecting what seems like random items for his quest, like the chocolate bar, snake grass, bucket of milk, and the dwell berries I actually got earlier when I was doing a fishing contest. That was all for his quest. Good thing I tried to do this as efficiently as possible because I would have been sent all over the place just to get these things, and I almost thought I messed up because for the chocolate bar, you actually need chocolate dust, and I thought the only way to get this was to use a pesto mortar on the chocolate bar, which I didn't have a pesto mortar. I was doing this on stream, and I asked people if they knew where to get a pesto mortar, and they're seeing the super obvious places like Taverley, but I wasn't trying to go back to Taverley from here. I tried looking up to see if there's a closer place and there's another way to get chocolate dust, and it said I could actually use a knife on it. Luckily, I did have a knife, which saved me, so it turns out I did have everything that I needed for this quest, and it got me from level 1 to 15 mining, and also unlocked the teleport to Artie spell, which I can't use yet until level 51 magic or so, but whatever. I was more so interested in the mining levels. While I was here, I also did Haziel Cult for the thieving XP. It got me straight to level 11. I want to get my thieving up as quickly as possible because I heard this was pretty much the best way to make money starting off as an Iron Man. I remember when old school RuneScape first came out, everyone was stealing from the silk stalls and selling it back to the poor silk trader for about 60 coins each. Talk about a scam, but that requires 20 thieving, and there's also getting seeds for farming, especially for herbs, and I believe master farmers require like 38 thieving. Thieving is a pretty slow skill in the beginning too. I'm definitely not bothering with that unless I'm stealing something that would actually help me. While I was doing a Haziel Cult, by the way, my kitten finally grew into a cat, and most of the things I did in this video kind of tie in together. I had originally wanted the cat because it was helpful for a couple quests like Rat Catchers or Evil Days part of Recipe for Disaster, but I really only want to do it once. It's kind of annoying to raise a kitten because you have to give it attention and make sure to always carry a fish on you or whatever to keep it fed. But as a lot of you may know, you can trade your cat into civilians in West Artie for death runes, and I'm trying to get my magic level up. Obviously, I can't use spells with death runes until level 41, but I could definitely get there really easily. I can kill things with Fire Strike for a bit until then. If I ever need a stronger magic spell for whatever reason, I would have the death runes. I'm skipping over the spells that require chaos runes because ultimately I'm making these decisions off like obtainability. Mine runes are super cheap at about 3 to 4 coins per rune, and also the elemental runes are pretty cheap as well. The reason why I'm using Fire Strike, like if you consider the max hit for Fire Strike versus the max hit for Wind Strike, like those extra coins that you put in to buy the extra elemental runes for Fire Strike, like, it's definitely worth it. However, there are Chaos runes, which are about 100 coins each, and that is significantly more for not, much more XP gain. And then you have Death runes, which are practically free with cats. I can barely break 10k on this account at the moment, which is fine, because I'm still managing to buy everything that I need, but it's not going to work if I have to keep buying chaos runes. Rune crafting them isn't ideal either, because even after I get the rune crafting level, which would take forever by the way, I would then have to mine the essence. I would have to use the abyss to craft them because of that ridiculous maze that's inside the chaos altar. An alternative option is that I could just steal silks to make money to buy the runes, but that takes forever too. And I might have to do that anyways because I don't even know if I have enough money to actually get me to 41 magic. But overall, using Fire Strike to 41 and raising a cat for some free death runes might be the best option money-wise. This, however, presented a few more obstacles, so I looked into it a bit, and it said trading in your cat gives 100 death runes, which I thought couldn't be right because I always remembered it being 200. Which I could have been way wrong because it actually has been years since I've done this, and by years I mean back when this version of the game was the actual version of the game. And my main account was almost as much of a noob as this account currently is. So I looked into a bit more. Turns out I had to do the easy arty task, which isn't too bad actually. It requires 15 fishing, check. 5 thieving, check. Items needed, knife, check. Silk I bought from Varrock later on in the video when I had to go to Varrock for another quest. I could have stole from Silk Stall, but one of the tasks was that I had to sell silk to the silk trader, and you have to wait to do that if you steal from a stall. Then there was a rusty sword, which is probably the second most annoying part of this whole thing, which after doing some research, the best way for me to get it would be to kill some ham or HAM guys or pickpocket them, which is why I'm doing Fight Arena for a little more thieving XP, because I need like another 4 thieving levels to start pickpocketing them. And I decided I'd rather pickpocket because I prefer that over attempting to kill enemies that I consider to be too high of level, since this is a hardcore Iron Man. And when I went to pickpocket, it actually didn't take me that long. It took me less than like 5 minutes. And then, there was one more thing. So the task that I needed the rusty sword for was that I had to go to someone called like the Tinno Merchant or something like that, and he's in Port Khazard. And basically, you take random items to him, like the rusty sword, and he's supposed to identify it for you. Now, that's the test. Now, the problem is when he's identifying for you, there's a chance it can fail. So, basically, when it fails, he's going to be unable to identify the item, and you also lose the item. So, in that case, if that happens, you wouldn't complete the task. Luckily, I got the rusty sword in 5 minutes, and I completed that on the first try. So, I didn't have to go get another one. But anyways, lastly for the task, quest requirements. Rune Mysteries, check. It required Biohazard, which I went to go do just for this. But Biohazard also required Plague City, which, I did early in the video. I had to go to Varrock for Biohazard, by the way, and that's when I got the Silk, and also when I wrapped up the Abyss mini quest for 1,000 RuneCraft XP, which got me a level 9. And then I had to go back to Arty to finish Biohazard, which is when I finished all the tasks. I had one more problem though. So, as a lot of you may know, whichever set of tasks you finish, regardless of the area that's in or its difficulty, there's always an XP lamp reward. And unfortunately, you can't just use them on any skill. There's always a minimum level requirement, in this case level 30. The problem is I don't have any skills that are level 30. However, you actually have to talk to someone to get the lamp. I want to see if I could get the 200 death rune benefit without having to talk to him. I figured if it didn't work, I would either just hold on to the lamp or destroy it. 2500 XP that comes from a lamp does help, especially these levels, but I'd rather have the death runes. Now, the question is, did this work in my favor? Given the title of the video, no, it did not. Luckily, I didn't waste the cat trying to trade it in. The person I was trying to trade it to for death runes told me how many he was going to give me, which is when I saw 100. And I was like, damn, I actually have to go claim the reward for the achievement diary. To be honest, I figured that was the case, but I was hoping I didn't have to. It was a long shot. At least I have an Arty Cloak 1, though, for unlimited teleports to the Arty Monastery now. But I also have a dilemma. I don't know what skill I should train at level 30 so I can use this lamp, and also how I should go about it. And if it comes down to it, I'll get rid of it if I have to. It's really not worth holding on to. I want to use it on a skill that's difficult to train, but also provides benefits to actually leveling it, because that's priority right now. I don't care if it's just hard to train. If that was a concern, I shouldn't be doing a hardcore Iron Man. Rune crafting is a maybe. I like to craft the higher level runes as quickly as possible, as I can't really afford those, or not even sure if I have access to buy those. Herb lores maybe, but leaning toward no, because I like to make certain potions as quickly as possible. But one of the quests that would give me a jump start is Recruitment Drive, and you can't bring any items with you in Recruitment Drive, which doesn't leave me with much else to do for herb lore levels. So I'd have to train it regardless, which might not be the best option with my lack of resources. Whichever skill I pick, I have to look into how can I go about getting that skill to 30 quickly as well. I think my only choice for rune crafting is just training it, which is still more reasonable than herb lore at the moment. But I want to see if there's something else. I don't know yet though. You guys are going to have to stay tuned for the beginning of the next episode to find out. Not even saying that, for the sake of suspense. At the time that I'm recording this commentary, I genuinely do not know what I'm going to do with this. I'll probably figure it out by the time I actually upload this video though, because by then I pretty much have to get started on the next episode. Anyways, that's going to end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for future videos to come and other videos to come if you haven't already. Catch you later. Peace.